Alright, so here I am in the car about to do some errands, and I was thinking I don't really see a lot of videos that show what sustainability really looks like. So since I'm doing a bunch of errands today and I'm going to be doing some relatively sustainable things this weekend, I thought I'd bring you along and let you know what a sustainable day in the life or weekend in the life of me really looks like. So anytime I do something sustainable, then I will bring you along for the journey and explain why I do it, and maybe you can implement that into your own life. So here we go. Okay, so what you saw in my car is everything that I ended up with. So these little copper scrubbies, what I'm hoping to do is unravel them, and I'll show you a little bit later on in the video, but I'm going to try to mouse-proof my house with these because mice can chew through anything, but they can't chew through metal. So I'm going to try to find any little holes in the house and try to stuff them up with this. And then I also got some off tint paint, so I got a full gallon of paint and primer for $9. This color is pretty faint. We've been wanting to redo our kitchen for a little while, so I thought this was pretty palatable. Not sure if I'm gonna keep it or not. But then I also got a fall mum, because they were all pretty cheap, and this beautiful plant here was like $3.50, so I couldn't resist myself. So I just figured instead of getting some cut flowers, because those are just gonna go in the trash, I would get potted plants. That's what I've been trying to do lately, unless I'm rescuing some flowers from the clearance. So my next sustainable task is taking care of my garden, or in this case, seeing what the squirrels left for me. Unfortunately, my garden did catch some sort of disease, so you'll see me going through here and spraying it with some neem oil solution that I got off the internet, and then the rest of the time I am just harvesting the rest of what I can. Another great way to reduce waste is to see what people are giving away for free on Facebook Marketplace. Alright, so story time. We just got those cinder blocks, and it is about to rain if you can't tell, so we gotta quick get them out of my back of my car and put them in place. So we got 6, and he said we can come back and get more if we want to. So you can see the water level is pretty low. I didn't have to water the garden from anything else but this the whole month of July and up through mid-August. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse it out as best I can so that when the rain, as you can hear from the thunder, comes, then we're good to go. So as you can see, we used 4 of the cinder blocks that we got for free so that we could elevate the rain barrel, and then it would be more easily accessible to get water from. Just in time. Okay, so now that I have that taken care of, I'm gonna go ahead and get in the kitchen. I'm gonna prep some things so that I can reduce my food waste. I'm gonna actually do a video on this in the future, so that's a little bit more in depth. So stay tuned for that, but right now I'm just gonna cut up some vegetables and do some meal prepping for the week. So here you'll see I'm just cutting up these tomatoes and I'm going to freeze them. I'm going to do this with a couple other vegetables as well so that they're easily accessible. Okay, so now that I got some food prepping done, or some cutting, I guess you could say, my compost is full. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. Now when I take my compost out, I actually rinse it with my rain barrel water so I don't waste any water inside. Mother. The squirrels got to my last watermelon on my way, so that is awesome. Okay, so every time I have a little bit too much fruit that I know that we're not going to use up in time or not going to eat in time, I go ahead and juice. So that's what I'm going to do with these melons that are from the garden today. I know we won't eat them all up, and I have a bunch of cucumbers as well that I know we probably won't go through. So I'm going to try to make my Bath & Body Works 6th grade lotion come to fruition in the juice form. So I'm going to make some cucumber melon juice, and hopefully my $35 juicer from 6 years ago holds up. So this made well over 64 ounces. If I don't drink it up within 48 hours, I'll just freeze it into ice cubes and use it for smoothies. Okay, so a big part of sustainability is all about fixing things or using things until you can't use them anymore, as long as it's efficient. So in my case, this is a watering can that the spout broke off of. So what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to try to glue the spout back on so that I can use it in my garden. The average American produces over 2,000 pounds of waste. So if you can get another couple uses out of each item in your house, then you'll be doing your part to reduce that number. Okay, so we're in my laundry room. You might be wondering why. I have this filter here. We actually just bought a new one because this is all busted up right here, and it was actually ripping up our clothes, so we decided to buy a new one. So let me show you what I'm gonna do with it. Okay, so you may remember in my rain barrel video that I said my mother-in-law had a storm door that she was getting rid of, and that we were gonna use the screen to go on top of this. Well, we found out that her storm door didn't have a screen, so I'm going to try to use this instead. So now I'm going to measure it and then use that instead. Hopefully it works. Here I am seeing if I can unravel this copper wire here. We had an embarrassing amount of mice in our house. I'd just like to think that we keep it warm and cozy, but somehow they're getting in. So I'm going to do my best before it gets cold to see if I can help prevent that this year. Okay, so if you didn't already know, mice can actually get into diameters as small as a pencil. So what I'm doing is I'm going around my house and seeing if there's any little crevices that I can stick this copper wire into so that they can't eat through it in order to get into my house. So for example, they might be getting through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a piece of this and stuff it in that spot. Alright, so you see I stuffed it right in there. They also tend to, if you have any open spots around like a faucet or any boxes or anything around your house, they tend to get in those too. Okay, so my last project for the weekend is going to be these. As you can see, they're a little scratched up, so I usually buy pretty cheap. Like these were definitely under $10, but it's nice to have a couple different pairs around, and obviously I don't treat them very well, so do I really want to spend a bunch of money on them? I know if I got a better pair that I would take care of them a little bit better, so that's kind of like, what do you do there? But while I have them, I'm continuing to use them, but the scratches are really getting to be an annoyance. So I looked up how to maybe like get the scratches off of them. So I'm going to use a solution and see how that works. So I just pulled up Google to do a quick search and see how I can essentially buff out some of the scratches that are in my sunglasses. Now obviously this isn't going to make them look brand new, but once again, just extending the life of what I have. All it is baking soda and water, so I figured I could handle that much. So maybe now I can stave off getting a quality pair of glasses for another year or so. And while I was at it, we figured we would take the rest of our glasses and apply the same solution. Okay, so as you can see, I had a pretty productive weekend. You saw me put a new grate on my rain barrel. You saw me get some thrifted blocks to put it up on. You saw me compost. You saw me juice some of my fruits that were going bad. You saw me fix my watering can. You saw me maintain my garden. And you also saw me fix or try to fix some of my sunglasses. So hopefully this kind of gives you a better idea of what it looks like to be a little bit more sustainable. Hopefully it inspired you a little bit. I challenge you to try to get another life out of one of the items that is in your house, whether you're upcycling it or you're maintaining it. Every little bit helps. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!